What's up guys, it's Punchy, and today we're back with another solid weekly Deepwoken update. There's a lot here with some new content and systems, as well as some supplementary changes to some other tools that we're already used to. Previously, in the last update, we got a ton of different new criticals to older weapons that honestly deserve them, and this update shares a similar trend. As always, I recommend you hop in the game for yourself to get the full update experience as things release. Before we start, make sure to like and subscribe for even more update content just like this, and without further ado, let's get right into it. Hopping in the game, you should notice something at the starting screen which actually dropped last week, and it's extremely exciting to see. Found nearby our start menu, there's finally a full new patch notes section for everyone to read and explore. Honestly, it's very rare that we see this sort of content in a Roblox game, but since this is live service and updated weekly, this is great for overall accessibility. This isn't just limited to weekly updates or big patches, everything posted in the Discord for changes will be shown here. So overall, this is pretty fantastic, and I love that it was added. Added in today's update, we received an insane, game-changing new system called MOTIFS. This is essentially Ashes of War from Elden Ring, allowing you to put special criticals on other weapons. This sounds crazy, and it absolutely is, allowing endless potential. So to perform this, you can use a Smith's Alloy onto any weapon you want to extract that critical, and you can hit the option, removing its motif and leaving you with a formless shard. This thing doesn't do anything viable, but it is a weapon without any purpose or critical. So with this motif, you can slap this onto any other weapon you have equipped to make some really crazy setups. For example, you could have the Serpent's Edge critical on a spear, but anything here is possible. Of course, there are some restrictions with legendaries and other criticals, but you have to experiment. So please share your thoughts down below about this, but I am loving it. Moving into our weapon additions for today, we have some new critical updates similar to last week. Starting off with our layer 2 KYRS weapons, we have a fully new critical rework for the KYRSGLAIVE. Before, this weapon was pretty normal and acted as an innate bleed stat stick in combat, but its critical was exactly the same as any other spear with a double slash step back. In this update, it finally received something new. With this new critical, we slammed the ground with the KYRSGLAIVE, releasing a wave of bone spikes that skewer targets and ragdoll them. This attack is pretty ranged and deals substantial damage and posture, but it is slower and cancelable up close. I think it's going to be really fun to mess around with, but beware, you cannot use this critical in the air. Onto a newly added enchant, we have the Curse of Ramen's Ember. This is named after some player, I'm pretty sure, and that's always cool. So anyway, this curse is a light green energetic aura that surrounds our weapon, and it represents the fire of life. So think about the Pyrekeeper flames because it does this, and it is going to slow people and burn just like this weapon. When hitting targets with the Ember Curse, we build up stacks just like detonation. With a full stack, it will explode just like detonation, dealing damage and applying the burning fire of life. What's a little bit different about this enchant is how it affects the enemy. On a successful explosion, the Ember Curse seems to provide an instant heal of temporary HP to the enemy while dealing its damage. This temp HP provided can range from low to high, and this can do a lot of things in combat. So overall, the damage on the explosion is random within a range, and the heal given is also random within a range. At times, you can deal good DPS with the blast and they might not get any heal to work with, but sometimes you can deal low damage and they can get a really big heal. It's all up to luck. Fortunately, the burn effect and its slowdown will always be consistent and proc when it explodes. This is basically gambling the enchant with temporary HP, and it's really interesting. Moving on to a massive change to monster hunting builds, we got a sizable nerf to the Ignition Deep Delver armor. This armor talent, Force Your Way, allowed the user to parry any unparryable monster attack at the cost of armor, which shut down a ton of monster interactions in PvE. To be honest, this wasn't really too crazy, but it was extremely powerful against the Heart of Enmity. Now, in this update, it's been changed to have an increased drain cost when you activate your Colossal Parry. So this should no longer be as free as it used to be, forcing players to react accordingly. Up next, with some large bouncing updates to BLOODREND, we got a ton of great changes, shutting down some cheese. There's a few bonus changes here and there that came to the attunement, but I wanted to highlight a few specifically. For starters, Scarlet Cyclone, a ranged spammy option that was very difficult to deal deal with got hit with a ton of nerfs to say the least. Now, in combat, it's possible to 360-degree block this attack from any angle, which is huge, and they can now be cancelled if they are parried. This is great for shutting down spam, but they can still throw out 3 with the spark. Next, onto Blood Curdle. One of the most obnoxious cutscene stuns in the entire game has been sped up with its trap time. Previously, this attack existed, stunning players for a very long time in between each tick of damage and they couldn't move, but now the time between each proc is way faster. So in the current update, you should notice that this mantra doesn't stun as long as it used to, speeding up the entire process. And moving forward onto Vein Tendrils, this attack works a little bit differently. Previously, Vein Tendrils would always teleport the user even if the mantra was blocked, but now this won't be happening. If the attack is blocked by a defender, you can no longer move towards them, but now its posture damage has been buffed, so it's a little bit better for overall pressure instead of being an unstoppable gap closer. Additionally, when it comes to balance, SHADOWCAST got a lot of changes, and this update there was some nerfs. Now, with a massive major change to Shadow Assault's Blast Spark, this thing has been hit with a ton of nerfs. For starters, this cutscene-like combo was fully unventable and inescapable before this update and had a very low cooldown, especially with a Blessed Gem. It was difficult to avoid and escape, but hopefully this was solved in this update since its cooldown has increased and it's now ventable in combat. Overall, this mantra suffered a ton of nerfs. Also in this update, coming to base combat, is a new mechanic that has been added called backstepping. While in combat, you are considered backstepping by pressing F or moving backwards towards the camera, and in this update, if you're backstepping, all speed boosts that you gain are halved. This was done to make passive players a bit nerfed in combat, and I guess we'll see what happens. Aggressive Posture, a talent that used to help with this, has also been removed. And that's about it for today's editions. As always, feel free to head in game and join up for Battle Royale, and you might see my team if you're lucky. Thank you so much to all my loyal fans and members who support my channel directly, and if you like what I do, feel free to join up down below for even more content. As always, thank you again, and make sure to like and subscribe. I'm shooting for 110k subs, and we're super close, so let's get there. Have a good one. It's punchin' time.